Welcome to the Culinary Camper. Today we're making grilled pizza. You can find this recipe on theculinarycamper.com. The ingredients we're going to use today are 1 package of chorizo sausage, 2 cups of mushrooms, a jar of pizza sauce, and a package of pre-made pizza dough. You can also make your own pizza dough. Here's a recipe I found online. I haven't used this recipe, but I've made my own dough, and it's pretty easy to do. This is Bobby Flay's recipe. He makes some pretty good stuff, so I included it. Usually, though, when I make this recipe, I just use the pre-made pizza dough because it's just easier, and usually I don't have a lot of time, and if I'm making it outside, this saves a lot of mess. So to start, I browned the chorizo sausage, and then I threw the mushrooms in once it was browned a little bit so they could saute a little bit. It just tastes better. I prefer it that way. And I preheated the grill so that it was about 450 degrees and charred off anything that was left on the grates. And I took the dough and I flattened it out on a floured surface. You want to pop any bubbles that might be in the dough at this point and just get a nice round, as round as you can, flatten it out to probably 1/4 of an inch. You can use the rolling pin. I start with a rolling pin, and then I pick it up and I give it a little stretch. This is a little trick I learned in college. If you don't want to do this part, you don't have to. If you don't feel comfortable with it, you might break the dough. You don't really want to break the dough. But it's fun to toss it and impress your friends. But you come out with a pretty nice looking pizza dough. It's about 1/4 inch thick or so. And I took it out to the grill, put a little non-stick spray on there. You can also use some olive oil and coat that with a brush. I didn't have any olive oil, so I used non-stick. And just toss it onto your grill grates directly on the heat. And make sure that it's not too hot. You don't want to cook it too fast. It's going to char the bottom. I gave it a half turn, cooked it for a few more minutes, and then, I had a big bubble there, so I popped it. You don't have to. Sprayed it again. Be careful you don't start a fire with that spray because it's oil. It will light on fire. And I flipped it and applied my pizza sauce right off the bat after I flipped it. Got a nice even coating on there, as even as you can get it. And I applied my ingredients right off the bat there, and you can put cheese on, as much cheese on there as you want, because that's the beauty of making your own pizza, is you can apply as much ingredients and cheese as you want. You put too much on it, it's not going to cook very well, but it's your discretion. So I just close the lid and let that cheese melt. That's the only thing that has to happen at this point, is that cheese has to melt. Gave it a little bit of a half turn so that our char wasn't too sticky on the bottom there. And after a few more minutes, we had a pizza that was done. Cheese is all melted, the ingredients look great. We slid it right off the grill. I don't have a very big spatula, so sliding it was easier than trying to pick it up. And just take it, let it set for a couple of minutes just so that the cheese sets a little bit, and then you can cut it and enjoy. It was a delicious homemade pizza, and better than some deliveries I had, that's for sure. You can find this recipe and recipes like it on theculinarycamper.com, and stay tuned for more recipes on this channel.